Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Matthew Moy, winemaker for the Vincent Arroyo Family Winery. Sorry we've been absent for the last two Fridays. I was hoping to be able to show you our bottling 2 weeks ago, but due to all the COVID issues and trying to get into the truck with video equipment was a little bit trying. So we couldn't show you what we did, but we did get several wines into the bottle, and those wines hopefully will be coming out to you this coming fall. We have one more bottling in another week, and then we'll have all our wines in bottle. So we're getting excited to release the 2018 vintage, but we thought that this Friday we would do something special because we have an inaugural wine that we made, and we want to release today, and that is going to be our sparkling wine. It's the first time ever that Arroyo has put out a sparkler, and we're excited that to do that. Adrian, my wife, as most of you know, is she's a big fan of bubbles, so that kind of was the motivation of putting this wine together. Unfortunately, we don't have the equipment at the winery to make sparkling wine, so we actually partner with another winery over in Sonoma County to make our sparkling wine together. The grapes we used were Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Pinot Meunier. The method of our sparkling wine was Méthode Champenoise, which is the French way of making their champagne, which we need to call our sparkling. The grapes are off the north coast, so we got the fruit up there, and we're really excited to do this. We only did 44 cases, so it's not a big wine for us in terms of production, but we're hoping that if you try it and you like it, we might boost up production next year. So please, if you do buy this and get it home and open it up, let us know your thoughts. I'm partial to it, but I think we did a pretty good job. It's the flavors I'm getting out of it are like citrus, more like a grapefruit. Very great Sunday brunch sparkling. So. Never a dull moment here. So we got our little sparkler here, making a mess on the patio here. I'm in Napa right now. Adrian's at the winery, so having the boys inside and trying to keep them quiet here. But this is our inaugural sparkling wine. It's good. I think it needs to be a little more chilled, I think, on my bottle, but it's what you expect. You can see the little bubbles rising in that glass. So to let you know how champagne or sparkling wine is made, we basically pick the grapes early in the season. So we pick them usually early September, even late August. And then what we'll do is we'll pick the grapes at a low sugar. We'll ferment the wine like we normally do on our still wines. And then after the wine is dry, meaning no sugar, we'll bottle it. We'll add some sugar in the bottle, and we'll add yeast in the bottle. And then we put a bottle cap, like you see on a beer cap, on the top of the bottle there. And then for several months, we will take the wine and we will we'll take the bottle and at a downward slant, and we'll turn it, and that's called riddling. And the reason you're doing that is you want all that sediment, those yeast cells and everything, to find its way to the bottom or the top of the bottle in the neck. So by doing that, we're constantly making that sediment get closer and closer to the neck of the bottle. Once we get that completed, we'll take the neck of the bottle and we'll stick it in a freeze machine that will freeze the neck. And then what we'll do is we'll take the cap off, and the minute we take that cap off, the carbonation or the CO2 gas that's been created by that yeast in producing in that bottle will push that solid out of the bottle, and then we'll recap it with a cork, and then we put that wire hood on it, and that keeps that cork nice and tight, keeps that CO2 in solution, and then we label it and get it out to you. So it's a different way of making wine. I've never made sparkling until this year, and it's something new for me. I learned a lot. I think I'll keep it with the pros and keep the equipment at the other facility, but If you do like it, please let us know, because I think it's going to be something fun to have for celebrations. And it's just for our inaugural opening. That's kind of why we wanted to release it today, to say, hey, we're open, we're doing well. Tastings are going on at the winery every day, 9 or 10 to 4, by appointment, but like we always have been. But it's actually quite enjoyable. It's out in our rose garden, and people are feeling safe, or the tables are being sanitized after every tasting, and so it's going well. We'd like to see more of you, and hopefully this summer you'll be able to get out of your homes and out to see us. But if you don't, we also can do virtual tastings, which I've done several over the past couple months. If you are interested in doing something like that, where we can go into a Zoom meeting or a WebEx or whatever medium you want to use, I've done that with lots of families that have, grandma and grandpa on the East Coast and their kids on the West Coast. We join together in virtual reality with wine, and we talk about it, and we laugh about it, and enjoy it. And so if you are wanting to do that, we can do that anytime. Just let me know. My email address is matt, M-A-T-T, at vincentarroyo.com. I can set that up. We can do weekends, whatever works for you. But again, like I say, if you can come out to see us, it is safe. We'd love to see you. So that being said, let's go. We still have library wines still available on our website, and I thought I'd maybe showcase the 2012 vintage, since we are doing a little special on that right now. 25% off any of the 2012 wines that you buy, either over the phone or online. So you just need to put in the 250FF, 25 off, in your promo code section of the website, and the discount will apply. So the two 12s I chose to drink today are the 2012 Cabernet Winemaker Reserve and the 2012 Petite Sirah Winemaker Reserve. So the reserve wines are wines that we typically age for 3 years versus standard 2. So I've talked about how we make wines in the past, but just a refresher, we basically wait 1 year before we blend wines together. So for the first year, we have all of our wines as separate lots. So we probably have 45 lots of 2019 wines sitting in the winery right now. Come January, we'll sit down and taste all those lots and put together our wines. Now, the Cab Reserve is going to be 100% Cab, but coming from different blocks of the vineyard. We have 85 acres that we farm up here, and the Cab Reserve is a blend of different cabs. So this is the very first wine we make, because it's going to be the best blend that we can put together of our Cab. So it could be block A, B, and C 1 year, D, E, F the following year. It changes up each and every year. And the reason we wait that first year is we want to see what the wood, the oak barrel, is going to do to the wine. So once we see how that implementation of wood is in with the wine, we taste those blocks and we put together the blend. And then once it's blended together, we end up putting it into a brand new oak barrel the second year, and then a brand new oak barrel in the third year. So it sees 200% brand new oak over the 3 years of aging of this particular wine. Yes, the tannins are really nice and soft now. I think that given that age, it's 8 years, I think it has a potential for another couple, at least a couple more years of aging in the bottle. But the fruit's still very prevalent. The nose, you can smell the French oak. It's that vanilla caramel flavors. We use French oak for all our Bordeaux varietals, so we use American oak on our Petite Sirahs and Zinfandels. So it's a nice soft wine. I think it's, like I say, it has some more aging to do maybe, but I think it's great right now, and at 25% off, it's a heck of a deal. Okay, so that was the Cab Reserve, 2012 Petite Reserve. We used American oak on this one. Brand new. It sees the same treatment of oak like our Cab Reserve, except for in American oak. So it sees 200% brand new American oak during this process. We make 4 Petite Sirahs here. This is the Reserve. So this is going to be the first blended Petite Sirah. It's still 100% Petite Sirah, but different blocks. Yeah, it has the Arroyo dusty smell to it. Oh, that's drinking really well today. I opened these two wines yesterday just to let them get a little air into them, and I think that that's what they need, given that their age. So I tend to see with wines, if you open them the night before you decide to drink them, 9 times out of 10, or even more than that, probably it's better wine. So that's a sneaky trick just to do. And what I try to do is I'll take a little sip, last night when I open these, and then see how they taste when I go to do a tasting like this. And this one of the two, they're both great, but this Petite Reserve is off the charts. Yeah, so it's definitely doing really well right now. It too probably has a little bit more age to handle, but I think these ones, if you're looking for go-to wines right now, these are doing really well, and as well as the rest of the 12 vintage. It was a lighter year in terms of yield for 12, and it was an early year, so we got off our grapes by early October, which is now more typical, but back then it was kind of surprising. So it was a good surprise because we didn't have to worry about the rains like we did in 2011, which we were still in harvest when the rains came in that vintage. So it was nice to safely get our grapes off the vine before all that weather phenom came. So it was, like I say, we didn't make a lot of the 12 vintage, but I think it's a quality vintage, and it's doing really well right now. So if it's something you're interested in, get online, get it in your cart, give us a call. We can get them out to you. We are shipping wine still. It's a little more challenging, but we have worked with EPS and got a 70% off book rate on next day air. It seems like a lot of money, but those wines now will get to you very safely in ice and out to you the next day. So if you're in California, we have our GSL, which is our next day carrier that we can get wine there as well. So don't be hesitant to not get online and buy wine because of the weather. We can definitely get it to you, and if you don't want to pay those higher rates, which I can say are still a good deal, we can hold the wines to the fall and then ship them out to you when it's safer weather to do that by UPS ground or FedEx ground. So anyways, let's hopefully enjoy the weekend. We are open, and like I say, everyone is still working and doing well. We're happy to see people and safely with masks. So anyways, let's cheers to a good weekend. I still have a little bit of sparkler here. And cheers to the inaugural sparkling wine from Vincent Arroyo Family Winery. Hopefully you'll get some of this as well. It's drinking very good, especially at 9 o'clock in the morning. So enjoy your weekend, and I hope to see you back next week. I promise I try not to be away any further, but last 2 weeks was a little more challenging. So we're back at it, and we'll see you next Friday. Cheers.